find a thing here.
Our two players are Sylvia C. and Mike Smar. We have Sylvia, who is resident Cube Queen, runs Cube weekly on Wednesdays in Milwaukee. Also a stasis aficionado.
Mm-hmm.
And on the right there, we have Mike Smar, who was notably the winner of our first event on an Enchantress Master. With
Absolutely.
some beautiful printings of all those cards.
Yes, he is. And on the table is the other card we didn't mention is Goblin Snowman. Everyone receiving a Goblin Snowman today. So as we see, we have Sylvia on your left, Mike on your right. We will go ahead and update the deck list as we see. It looks like Sylvia is going to be on a variant of Terrageddon. Make sure we can spell that right. T-R-A-G-E-D-D-O-N. Yeah, we did that right.
I think Sylvia's on
I think she's on 4-color.
4-color, and it's the survival Terrageddon build.
Yeah, if it's what she was playing against me yesterday on Moto, yes. The Mogg Squad has fully jumped into the Moto scene at this point.
Yep.
So
Not myself included, but it's starting to pick up adoption quite quickly.
it is.
And this is the popularized by Billy Mitchell build of the Duress Crew.
Good old Duress Crew, always making things swing. And then looks like Mike, to nobody's great surprise, is on Enchantress.
I mean, if you're going to do some outcomes-based reasoning, if it's going to win you the tournament last time, it's a pretty good deck to run back. And I think, Smart just legitimately enjoys this deck more than anything else.
And he plays it very well. So, I mean, enjoying the deck, playing it well, what can you really say? If anybody's in chat, please let us know if you can hear us well. We hope that you can. So this matchup, this might be, all right, Captain Redbeard, appreciate you. This matchup feels very intricate to me every time I watch it. Like, there are a lot of decks that can't really make Enchantress slow down all that much initially.
Right.
This is a deck that can. Like, Armageddon, not great for this deck. I don't know if Sylvia's on like any main deck mages, but Meddling Mage, not great.
I see one in hand right now.
But there's one in hand, you see. So this is a match I'm very interested in seeing.
100%. Could you open up Sylvia's list?
I certainly can, my friend. Shout out to Spice Rack GG for hosting the event on here. Yep, we found it. Really, really awesome. Don't delete deck. I guess we can't just pull it up. Interesting.
But in any case, we've seen a start from Sylvia with a Gemstone Mine into a Birds of Paradise, so developing all colors of mana. And one of the more powerful plays from the Enchantress deck, one that is unexpectedly relevant in a lot of matchups, a turn 1 Miri's Guile.
Turn 1 Miri's Guile. I mean, that was one that was a little slower to come around. A lot of work was into it before the Cabal finally landed on. That's just the nice card to be used to really have a turn 1 play, to have an easy cantrip, to find the same sort of effects that you need to flip through your deck, especially if you're drawing through cards.
100%. And we have a Meddling Mage coming down.
All right.
Likely naming Argothian Enchantress, since that's a card that there are probably 0 main deck answers to. But then again, Smart did not play an Argothian on 2.
Okay.
So
did he just miss a land drop? I was busy trying to pull up a deck, so that was on me.
Was Smar starting player?
I believe Sylvia was on the play, so this is his turn 2.
Correct.
So he would have a chance to drop a Enchantress right now.
Do we know what the mage named? I assume it named Argothian Enchantress.
We're gonna, you know what? We'll add that to our list, getting nice little tags that we put on stream to let us know.
Yeah, or at least some pieces of paper. Some pieces of paper.
I mean, I would hope we would graduate beyond pieces of paper, but if we need to, we will. But turn 2, passing here.
Other plausible names for that Meddling Mage would include Parallax Wave.
Parallax Wave could, yep.
or it could be Swords of Plowshares. But I'm not sure if the full 4 copies in Smar's list.
The wondrance is, so Enchantress has
So we have a in presence here.
Sterling Grove.
Or Sterling Grove.
Yep, Sterling Grove, Wild Growth into a Sterling Grove, swinging in with the Meddling Mage. Okay, I think I found how to find deck lists. Hey, look at that, I did it. I did the thing. Alright, so here is Sylvia's deck list. This is indeed a survival version, featuring Terravores, but some spicy numbers like a Exalted Angel, Monk Realist.
Monk Realist, very relevant in this matchup.
100%. Vigilante.
And we have here one of the most important cards out of these Terragon builds, Weathered Wayfarer.
The ability to really can keep up on land, can chain together, wastelands. In this matchup, not as important because typically once that Serra Sanctum hits the field, it's already going to do its damage. But Rishadan Ports.
Port is definitely a lot better in this matchup than Wasteland. So
okay, so it did not. The Meddling Mage did not name Enchantress because we see one on the field. I could see it naming a Swords just to make sure it's protected. But Sylvia might not. I don't know what she named because she also has Swords herself. But I guess it doesn't.
There's some next level. There's some next level names here like Seal of Cleansing.
Okay.
Since survival is such an important card, an important engine card piece for the survival Terravore builds.
I buy that. It could also be something as simple as like a Replenish or a Parallax Wave, like or an Opalescence or something like that.
Opalescence would be an interesting. I think Parallax Wave is the best of those names. If you just want to interact with the win conditions inside the Enchantress deck. You really have 2 choices. You have kind of 3 choices with the Meddling Mage in this matchup. It's naming the interaction pieces that interact with Meddling Mage. It's naming the win conditions that are in the Enchantress deck. Or it's naming cards that affect survival.
Yeah, no,
Sylvia really having a tank here. There's some choices here. Is this the time to run out survival is the key question.
That certainly is a question here as I am looking at something here.
We have a Terravore and an Armageddon, so the question is how do we line up these cards to put the fastest clock on this game?
Yep, volume's coming way back up, guys. Don't worry. I'm messing with my sounds to make sure we get the loudest, crispest sounds we can without really, clipping your ears out. Audio things. Audio things. Volume should be way back up. Hopefully, is the plan. Just let us know as it goes. But, alright, so there was a Armageddon.
So we have a Geddon.
Which, God, that is such a game changer.
A brutal Geddon in here, absolutely. And now it's Smart. Smart playing lands is just kind of a problem.
I mean, he has his ability to draw up and do that, but this is a deck that needs to make its land drops, at least to a certain extent.
And it's quite good at it, generally.
Yes, it is.
As part of the draw power and the card selection ability of cards like Miri's Guile. But here, you just have to figure out, you have to be very strategic in the way you make land drops. Otherwise, you give Sylvie the ability to find mana, lands that disrupt the mana, like Rishadan Port and Wasteland. And all the while, taking 3 points of damage a turn, which adds up. That's a 5-turn clock right now. Exactly. Could be easily be 4, if taking damage from a rush land.
Yeah, and this also opens up the thing with the Wayfarer is he has to be careful what lands he might be able to play, because now playing those non-basics means that Wayfarer can go get, wastelands and keep disrupting.
Yep. That exploration here is actually quite key. Being able to really explode with mana.
Yep, and push out fast, and also something to the nature of not even just explode, but the play of Sanctum, tap for mana, play second Sanctum.
Yep, exactly. And that's where we will see, possibility of making 8 mana to deploy Opal Wave on an accelerated schedule.
Yes.
So passing back to Sylvia.
So this is actually a really great recovery from Mike. He's got lands back down. Unfortunately, both basics. I do wonder, does Sylvia go for the wastelandy sort of start knocking out your resources? Okay, yep. Do you think it's... I would assume it's going to get Wasteland here.
It depends on the composition. Yeah. Gaia's Cradle. Gaia's Cradle makes a lot of sense here.
Okay.
Gaia's Cradle makes a lot of sense here. You have to, now that there's an exploration in play, you can't trade 1-for-1 just getting a Wasteland every time Smart plays a non-basic land. You really have to match that mana generation.
Yeah.
And here's a Terragon. Yeah.
That's a big Terry man.
So
for context, Sylvia runs 1 Cradle, 2 ports, and 4 Wastelands is where we're at. So, I mean, this Terror War is going to be a clock. Like, he's gotta find his answers in relative short order. He's at 11. There's at least, I think, 6 lands.
There's 6 lands. It easily could be 8.
Okay,
so there's Parallax Wave. I imagine now that Meddling Mage is named Swords to Plowshares.
Okay, that's gonna be a very powerful wave if that's the case.
Yeah. I'm a little worried here about the longevity of all these creatures on board, especially considering the Seal of Cleansing that was in Smar's hand.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see. We're gonna have to just see what was named.
Nope. Taking a look at Miri's Guile. So Fritz and I are reframing on screen from saying what we see in hands, just in case it can get through all the protections to the players. But surmising from Samara's hand, he feels okay right now.
So 4 mana.
Yep.
And there's the wave.
Yep.
So Parallax Wave, remove a counter, exile a creature, and just passing the turn here. You don't have to activate it right now.
No, you don't. I think he can take... Can he afford to take at least 1 Terravor Mage hit? Or because we got, what, 6, 7, 8, 9. He can, I think, in theory, take 9. But he's got a couple of pain lands.
I think you just do want to exile at very least the mana creatures now, because you don't want to be in the situation where Sylvia just gets to, you pass to upkeep and you get to activate. Right. And that Gaia's Cradle, having creatures in play means mana generation for Sylvia here.
It does.
Sylvia with a fast clock here, but not for long considering the
circumstance.
Yeah.
Survival.
There's survival.
All right.
Powerful enchantment. And here's a gemstone mine.
So ability for an activation here. There's the swingies.
And swinging in.
Bye-bye, Terry. Meddling Mage sticks around to be a nuisance.
Smart to 9. Still a 4-turn clock if Smart ever wants to crack that fetch land. Honestly, I imagine that Smart's just probably going to sit on that fetch as it's a shuffle for this Miri's Guile.
I agree. Now, an interesting card I see here, and I'm going to speak a little lower, is he's got the Solitary in his hand, which can really put a damper in some plans.
100%. Fortunately, it also puts a damper on Smart's cards in hand.
That's
and with
true.
only 1 Enchantress effect in play,
it would definitely be harder to pull ahead. As far as the ways that Sylvia would have to deal with that, she has really only 2. She has the Monk Realist and the Vigilante.
Yeah, I think really what Smart, I agree. I think shuffling this makes sense. What Smart wants to find here is either an Opalescence or another Enchantress effect.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just engine pieces or the card that just ends the game on the spot.
All right. Mana being made.
4 mana. Floating white mana. Drawing.
All right. So with that, with 2 effects, that confinement looks... Or did he shuffle the confinement away?
Confinement shuffle away. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
There was a fetch that was cracked in the upkeep. And there's Seal Cleansing, which is a powerful answer to this survival. Presumably, you crack this as soon as Sylvia
Oh,
when after Sylvia
That's
activates.
really okay. That's really so he plays a one of, I believe, layer land, so he can bounce,
Yep.
and now he can replay the Sanctum.
Yep.
Okay.
Risk Grove to
Yep.
bluff being on Sam Black's Naya Enchantress deck, if you remember that from last year.
I do remember that. Enchantress, what a deck! What a deck! All right, plenty more mana being made.
Yeah, and we're just exploding with mana right now. That's 5.
Yeah.
5, and then floating that mana, destroying the survival. And then, yeah,
Okay.
drew the solitary, casting the solitary, drawing 2. Now with two Enchantress effects in play.
It's gonna get.
Yeah, you can feed this solitary confinement, and now the meddling mage beat down doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Now he's got that.
And then Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is very quickly slipping out of Sylvia's grasp here. That Armageddon, brutal, but
But he had the plays to get through it.
yeah, we're witnessing really the power of exploration. Oh, and there's some spice. Concession to the Kurtar's Desire.
Kurtar's Desire. Well.
We might need to pull that one up. So Kurtar's Desire is a common aura from Odyssey, and it has enchanted creature cannot attack, and then if you have Threshold, then the creature can't block either.
Yeah, it's a.
Some have called this card 1 mana Swords to Plowshares.
Let's pump our brakes on that a
No,
little bit.
I mean, it's Swords to Plowshares, but it draws you cards. I mean, that's wild, right?
It's you're not wrong. You're not wrong in that regard. All right, so Samar up a game.
And we're going to sideboarding.
We are going to sideboarding.
So
indeed.
in Sylvia's sideboard, I'm seeing some Rays of Revelation.
So I think we're still looking at. Let's go. I'll pull up Sylvia's for you
sure.
while I fix that. Rip it.
Yeah, we can see. Let's go first to see what we can do in this matchup. We have. So in Sylvia's sideboard, we have 2 copies of Cataclysm, Disenchant, Earthquake, Genesis, 2 more Meddling Mages, Naturalize, a Ravenous Baloth, a Ray of Revelation, 2 Red Blasts, an Uktabi Orangutan, and a Xantid Swarm. Will, I'm seeing a lot of options for things to bring in. How would you sideboard in this matchup?
I think Meddling Mages come in. I think Disenchant, Cataclysm. I'm not that like. I mean,
I'm a big fan of Cataclysm.
Let me remind myself. Okay, so Cataclysm. Yes, says
Down to 1 enchantment.
I wonder if Armageddon might come on some number for Cataclysms.
I would agree with that. I would definitely. I could see going to like a combination of 1 Armageddon, 2 Cataclysm. I still think the effect is quite good in this matchup.
Yeah.
And what about those Earthquakes?
I honestly like an Earthquake to deal with the Argothians. It also lets you name. It lets you name swords with Meddling Mage and have an answer to Argothian. I don't actually like the Naturalize and the Disenchant really. I feel like you're probably fine with like 2 Cataclysms, the Earthquakes, the Meddling Mages, and like the Ray. Because Naturalize and Disenchant, they can get things, but by the time you want to get the important things, it's almost already too late.
Right.
Whereas, the Earthquake is proactive, getting rid of an Enchantress. Ray of Revelation is cheaper. I think I like that. We'll see.
Yeah, the other notable thing about Earthquake is that it reduces the life total.
Yes, it does.
Which, could come up. Fireball your opponent is sometimes the line that you want to take here.
Exactly. So I like that.
I agree with. I think I agree with you on the Naturalized Disenchant. Your plan is here. You are the beatdown deck.
Yes.
From this side, from the Terraform survival side, you want to reduce your opponent's life total to 0, and you don't want to sit and trade resources a bunch. You want to trade land resources, but trading in trading your your naturalizes and your disenchants for enchantress effects is not really
not where you want to be.
Is not the most impactful. On Smar's side, we have Abeyance, 2 Aura of Silence, 2 Carpet of Flowers, 2 Gaia's Blessing, another copy of Replenish, another Solitary Confinement, another Swords to Plowshares, 2 Sabo's Webs, and 3 Xantid Swarms.
Yeah, I think Replenish comes in just as another like
Recovery tool.
recovery tool. The solitary actually did a lot of work. In solitary, I don't know if Sylvia has a way to beat solitary confinement if the engine's going, if it's like Sterling Grove into solitary.
Yeah, I feel like once you have the engine going, you kind of are already winning in a lot of cases, and Opal Wave is enough to contain to contain Sylvia's ways of ending the game.
Well, my thought is more because Sylvia has meddling mages, and if she names targets, this gives you another option outside of your other win conditions to deal with it, to make a lock.
Sure. I mean, that is a scenario that could easily come up with. I mean, if you have to get probably three mages in play in order for that to occur.
The match just can't go that long if Enchantress is
True.
being disrupted. But you know,
It's true. Maybe, but there's only already one copy in deck. The question is whether you need the second copy.
That's true.
I can definitely see those Sabos webs coming in though.
Yeah. I think the other swords probably comes in just to have things.
Yep. Swordsing a Bird is, I think, very impactful.
Swords the bird. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Gaia's Blessing, so I would never argue against it.
100%. Yeah, I think these games are likely to go long, and actually shuffling in lands is quite relevant.
Yes, agreed. All right, so we are back in the game.
Yep.
Sylvan Library coming
First
down.
spell cast this game was a Wild Growth, and then on Sylvia's side responded with a Sylvan Library, and there's a turn to Argothian Enchantress, and a
Okay.
pass back of the turn.
They're off to the races. We want to again shout out Delta Beer Lab for hosting us, an amazing venue. When we're on our screens in between matches, there's a flyer for them with a QR code to become part of the club. If you're ever in Madison, it's worthwhile. Stop in, all of that. But no, it's steadily helping to grow the Madison scene. Awesome players in the room today.
Yeah, they've been a fantastic partner,
They have.
and we love patronizing them.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
and they let us have delicious pizza, which I will always be a fan of. So, which is probably what I will do in between the round.
Pizza and Magic cards that's a match 30 years in the making.
Agreed. All right, so there's a bird coming on down.
Birds of Paradise.
So, I know many people are not huge fans of Gemstone Mine in any case of life ever. What is your opinion on Gemstone Mine?
Gemstone Mine serves specific purposes in specific decks. I know this is kind of a cop-out answer, but I like Gemstone Mine in decks like Tireless Tribe, in which you need to produce your splash colors of mana on specific turns, but don't need mana from your land every single turn. In decks with Survival of the Fittest in them, you need enormous amounts of green mana, which Gemstone Mine is not particularly good at providing. And so you can be stuck in situations in which you really want to be activating Survival, but the cost of removing a counter is too high, and so you're stuck not activating the Survival. This deck tries to mitigate this by playing Gaia's Cradle, which is your way of producing a bunch of green mana.
Yep.
And of course, Wall of Roots helps with this as well. But in general, yeah, I think Gemstone Mine serves a specific purpose in the format, and it's really honestly a great design. I really love having this card available in pre-modern, because it's one of the only painless sources of rainbow mana, the other being Undiscovered Paradise.
I still feel like Undiscovered Paradise is a underplayed card.
I agree. And guess what? If your mana bases you can build that make wonderful use of these cards.
Yes, there are.
For example, Tireless Tribe, which plays them in conjunction with the bounce lands, which we were highlighted the last game. So we have Sylvia tapping 2 for a Wall of Roots, another powerful mana engine.
Yeah, and it looks like Sylvia had a chance to use one of those Ray of Revelations to take care of a Wild Growth, and I would assume it's flashing back to hit a Presence.
Yeah, just using this to generate a bunch of tempo, and there's Survival.
I mean, this is a spot now where Sylvia is controlling the engine, now has a Survival online to go get more answers to the engine.
Exactly.
And eventually she doesn't need a hugely fast clock. It just has to be a clock.
Right. It's just about building up a resource advantage in the resources that matter. So we got two Enchantresses and no enchantments.
Yep.
Some very lonely Argothian Enchantresses.
this is the moment where that earthquake, if she did side them in, would be astounding.
Yeah, absolutely backbreaking.
An earthquake, notably, does not hit flyers. That bird is safe.
Yep. That's some masterful deck design right there.
Look at that. There's a meddling mage coming down.
So meddling mage added to the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Notably, okay, yeah, okay. So we're finding the intervening. We're getting the intervening squee here too.
Well, so we let's make sure that little goblin boy's in the yard.
Yep, squee and survival of the fittest. Match made in heaven.
Absolutely, my friend. Could you pass me that water to your left in the glass?
Absolutely.
I love it. Little parched. All right, so
Back on Sylvia's turn. Taking a draw step.
Notably, though, down to 6, courtesy of a Sylvan Library.
Yep. But, I mean,
Oh, there it is. There's that.
there's getting
That's
4 permanents on board to 2.
yeah. That's going to be very interesting. And there's a follow-up diamond.
Follow-up Mox Diamond here is...
That's disgusting.
Oof. And there's meddling mage.
Yeah, that's a disgusting turn.
There's some interesting tension.
In the wasteland.
And there's wasteland. Because the tension here is like, you know, deploying basic lands is great when you're expecting your opponent has wasteland in their deck, right? You just get to develop mana that feels stable and safe. But you also have to balance that against, what happens if my basics get Armageddoned?
Mm-hmm.
And this maybe gets back into what you were saying earlier, what we were talking about earlier during sideboarding. Guy's Blessing could be a card that you want just to increase the density of live land draws that live in your deck.
Yeah, and that's one of the... I think a lot of people, when they see a Blessings, don't look at it the way you should. Like, it doesn't take much for it to be effective. Like, the first one is, like, okay, but the second one is usually always backbreaking, because you're never recycling the cards you don't need into your deck. It's just gas.
Yep, card quality. You're playing a card quality game.
Exactly, and pre-modern, especially in those long, grindy ones,
Yep.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, the top 10% of this format. Even let's give it higher. Let's say the top 1% of the pre-modern card pool is like a full standard deviation better than the other 99%.
Yes, I agree. And like,
Or I guess the 98th percentile. But yeah, I think you understand.
yeah, no, we're good. So we going to get things. I mean, I would
What's
just
the next
keep
tutor target here?
Mages. Like, I think you just mage. You keep
Yeah,
maging and get all.
and this is kind of
threats.
yeah, exactly. Put 3 mages on board, name the 3 things that answer mages.
Yeah,
Kind of lights out.
yeah, and like, it's what it is from
Draw as many cards as you like.
right. And
Nothing's relevant, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is, I guess, one of the arguments for. Because there's 4. Okay, so let's imagine a scenario where there's 4 meddling mages on the board.
I'd be interested to know. Yeah, if there are 4, is one of them going to name Swords of Plowshares, Parallax Wave, Opalescence.
Replenish.
Could be replenished, but are we just counting on smart discarding the hand size? What about Seal of Cleansing? Is that relevant? I guess it's probably not relevant at that point. Yeah.
Like, it's
so Replenishes would be the last name. Yeah, I agree.
Which then there's so
Yep.
Smart gonna boot up, but then in that scenario we were just talking about when I was talking about sideboarding is you only have 4 mages, you can get 4 threats. If they never named Solitaire, if they go for this plan somehow,
right.
you have a way to do it.
But you also have Monk Realist in your deck and Nantuko Vigilante.
He has Sterling Grove.
Does he have 2? Unless you have 2 Sterling Groves.
I think there's a huge rabbit hole we can go down to. I just want to see a very complex game where all the scenario works out.
Right. I mean, and this is the exact matchup where we can be gifted with that.
Exactly. All right. Well, 1-1.
Yeah. So we're going to a game
far.
3 here.
Game 3 it is.
I wonder. So are we going to see any sideboarding changes?
I do not
Ooh,
know.
what looks like we brought some white cards in on Smar's side. I wonder what those. I wonder if we are actually boarding into the second solitary confinement.
Maybe, or maybe another other white cards that could come in.
And then
So it could be another replenish, the solitary. It could be another swords.
I could see that.
So we'll see. But no, very as we're kind of going in
Could be
here,
Aura of Silence also.
that feels like a very
It seems narrow.
narrow answer to like.
Survival is probably the most powerful card in Sylvia's
Sure,
deck.
I would agree, but like it just doesn't line up to even if
Right.
you're on the play, it still doesn't line up to a
Right.
survival.
Also, I mean, it also makes Mox Diamond cost 2 mana, which can matter in those Armageddon games.
Yeah,
But there's only 2 with Moxen in the
yeah,
deck.
but he doesn't know that, so maybe I could see that.
Yeah. How much time do we have left in the round?
We have 20 minutes left in the round.
Okay.
Some results already coming in. Again, 25 registered players today.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And a pretty diverse set of decks that we have been able to see.
All right, we are into the game.
Uh-oh.
So we have a turn 1 Miri's Guile, and there's a Mox Diamond. And then I think we're going to see, in classic Terragon fashion, turn 1 Sylvan Library.
Turn 1 Sylvan Library. I mean,
And that's going to just represent
cards.
card advantage, just cards, and then card selection.
Mm-hmm.
Both players ponder, both players sense these dividend topping every turn, basically.
Exactly. Trying to find the right pieces at the right time. And guys, enjoy the ambiance of our bar here in the background.
Indeed.
We love it.
Are we getting some feedback?
No, we're getting a plane flying over us.
Ah,
That's a plane.
crazy. Hitting the resonant frequency of this entire structure.
God, it's beautiful. So
Seal of Cleansing, sealing down the library so Sylvia can't draw additional cards.
yeah, sad faces for Sylvia.
And just deciding what we want to do here, because you get choice of Survival or Meddling Mage.
Meddling
And there's
Mage.
a mage, and we'll see.
I'm
We'll
assu- I'm
just
assuming
figure out what we mage.
I'm assuming it's naming swords. I feel like that's probably what
That-
it's been naming each time it comes down
Yeah,
first.
that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's the most likely card that Smart would be interested in trading for that Meddling Mage. And also, if you draw additional mages, it's the best thing for setting up for mage number 2.
Yeah, no, I get that. I agree. Bump that up. All right. Meddling Mage coming down. The thing with Enchantress is, okay, there's a piece. It has a really hard time doing anything if it does not find locked pieces. And especially in this matchup, he needs to find the Argothian more often than not than the Enchantress's presence to really keep pushing forward.
Exactly, yeah. The presences, while they stack better together, are more vulnerable.
Yes. So Bird of Paradise coming down. All right. There is a Sarah Sanctum and there's a Presence trigger.
Both players on the mana generation plan.
Yep. Sylvia is gonna need to contain some of this here shortly, or else
Yeah.
it's gonna get very.
Containing Sanctum is definitely a line here.
Because I mean, honestly, I could see if Mike untaps, he without any sort of disruption here, he's just gonna win.
How do you feel about so casting that Survival that's in hand, and then going and finding a Monk Realist to destroy this Enchantress's presence?
I think that might be the options. Do that.
Yeah.
Pitch.
And you don't even have enough mana to get Squee here. You're just going for the trade. Well, maybe not. Okay, I'm seeing a different line here. So there's Squee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a line we described.
Yep.
Just trying to going for containment of the engine.
I mean, and that's all you can really do fully at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, just deploying the Survival is going to pay dividends in the
agreed.
future.
Agreed. So really starting to slow it down. There's so much explosiveness that can happen here. There's a Grove.
Grove is a start.
So now you have to go through an extra layer. That's 3 Opalescences in Mike's hand.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the downsides of playing that many copies of that card.
Yeah, it is. But
It's a necessary evil, I think.
But think of this scenario. He's got him in his hand, and he just plays it next turn, and he just blocks Meddling Mage all day.
Well, it has Shroud too.
Yeah, like
I think I honestly I'm not super unhappy in,
No,
in
not at
Smar's
all.
position.
And then he plays the second one, and now he's got 4/4s or 5/5s, 4/4s. Can't remember. Is it 4 mana or 5 mana?
It's they're 4/4s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4/4. So then he's just blocking everything in
Yeah,
Sylvia's deck all day.
exactly.
Yeah.
4/4 with Shroud.
Yeah.
Blastoderm would be pretty good against this Terravore deck.
Don't. Okay, so he's sacking the.
Sacking to assemble the combo.
Okay,
Interesting.
so he's got a second Sanctum in his hand. I
Right.
believe so he can.
But
I know that he doesn't.
now the math is bad because there's no longer an enchantment in play.
Yeah. Okay.
It's interesting. I think this is a hard choice, and I think there are ways I will defer to Smar as the master
Mhm.
as the master of this deck. Oh, hard down. But doing the mana math makes me think that you kind of want to keep this.
Oh, he did
in
bring
play.
in the Aura of Silence.
Yep, those are the white cards that we saw.
Okay.
I think just the combination of Survival of the Fittest, Mox Diamond, and Sylvan Library
Okay.
do make that reasonable because the games where
Oh no, he found an exploration.
exploration is the key card
That's gonna.
here. Yep, that's probably one of the better things you could find.
Cause now it's 1, 2.
Both a bunch of white mana and a bunch of green mana, and it's also a 1 mana enchantment. And there's the wave.
Yep.
So we've gone from Sylvia playing a containment strategy on Smar's enchantments to now Smar gets to play the containment strategy on Sylvia's creatures.
Oh.
It's highly asymmetrical. It's an
It really-
interesting matchup for
it
that for
is.
sure.
So now this feels like it's flipped. So what is? There's no good way. I mean, you can survival go fine. She doesn't. I don't even think. No, she has vigilante mana. So she could go get blow up the wave. I guess.
Well, I mean, is Smar going to permit this? The other question is whether Sylvia has a creature in hand. I don't actually remember.
Neither do I. So yeah, go get the mana.
So yeah,
'Cause
hitting the mana makes sense, and then there's mana floating,
Yeah,
and it's just going away. So yeah, there's no creature right now, or at least there appears to be no creature, and maybe there is. I mean, we'll see.
But it's not gonna matter, cause so even say if Sylvia went and got
Right, there's a plowshares too.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard to play and flip a.
Like if she can't do anything this turn to disrupt it, we already know he has the opals in hand, and that's it. There goes the survival. There goes the everything else.
Exactly, Smart 8.
Yep. I feel like Samar's got this. I can't think of what Sylvia can truly get that gets out of this.
You have to just unlock. You have to unlock under the wave. But even then, there's replenish.
Yeah.
Replenish is still in the deck, and we know that's in the hand.
So
but-
go get that.
Yep, pitch that, and then is this just a Hail Mary? Let's see what we have.
I think she maybe go get meddling
Yeah.
mage, name Opalescence, but then he just waves the.
Right.
Yeah, this
Or
is
waves either. You can even save a counter and just wave the mage on swords, and then
Yeah.
swords the other mage.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think the Smar's probably got this locked.
There are not that many cards in Sylvia's deck that allow a comeback.
And this is where a card like Tranquil Domain.
Sylvia was digging through my box looking for a copy of what's the other one? The net card from Nemesis.
The one
Reverent
that-
Silence.
Yeah. Gotcha. Like something to truly clear the board.
Yeah. The issue with those cards, of course, is that you're a survival deck.
Yeah.
You put those, and you're going to put that survival in the bin, and that's oftentimes going to be kind of bad for you.
I mean, maybe, but if I understand. Okay, there's that.
Let me be very transparent about this. One of my favorite decks in this format is the black-green survival deck.
Yeah.
I can't play this deck as long as Enchantress is on top of the format.
No, you cannot.
I can put as many copies of Tranquil Domain and Reverent Silence on my sideboard as I want. Every time I cast one of those and I bin my survival and my opponent bins 4 or 5 enchantments, I feel like I'm down on the exchange.
That's fair. I get that. All right, so Mike going ahead and picking up the win here.
Well played for both sides. Those
Yeah.
are some very back and forth games, and we kind of saw a lot of the matchup dynamics there. So